Panthers rushing attack, man.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about, how we feel about the Panthers being a run-centric attack going forward. We're not asking Sam to do too much. I feel like normally we're talking about the quarterback, and we've been on the hell of a carousel for the past few years and this season, man. From P.J. Walker to Baker Mayfield, Jacob Eason had a whole series for us this year. So, what I'm wondering is like us being kind of a one-dimensional football team, right? We're taking a lot of shots off of play action, and by the way, we're one of the best play action teams in the NFL. I'll find that tweet here in a second.
Why weren't we doing this earlier? I mean, and
right.
not just running the ball, but the type of balance or the type of passing attack you're going to have. Even with Baker, you would thought that, man, it would be best. We wanted to see him work under center.
Right. Was CMC?
Maybe we were just wrong on that.
Like, were we depending too much on that?
Maybe you don't feel like under center is a good thing for CMC. I wonder because they like to in San Francisco, they also like to put him a lot to the left of the quarterback. So I wonder if like that there is some sort of game theory they got with Christian McCaffrey that worries you, so you're not, I guess, tipping off that it's a run play or a pass play, whatever. But Chuba Hubbard been getting more involved in this running attack, and that has set up the pass, Cody. Not set up the pass. That's been interesting. Chuba Hubbard kind of trying to save his
so I wonder if like that there is some sort of game theory they got with Christian McCaffrey that worries you, so you're not, I guess, tipping off that it's a run play or a pass play, whatever.
But I hear that.
Chuba Hubbard.
I thought it was something on mine. I'm like, where the fuck
I hear
is
that too.
it coming from? And now you're muted.
I hear nothing now.
It was my phone. I opened Twitter up. This is what happens when you Bluetooth your phone to the soundboard, is you can't do anything else by accident. And there was a tweet someone was sharing. I was sharing a tweet of someone sharing our tweet. And then I had to listen to myself loop in my own head. But no, talk about Chuba Hubbard for a second.
I mean, look, I don't want to pat myself on the back.
Oh,
but I'm going to, dude.
He's not good, dude.
Yes, it is, man. Listen, you don't give up on young football players. Guess what? Young football players fuck up from time to time. But one of the reasons why we love Steve Wilks so much? He's an adult. And he knows that young players grow and learn and become better football players. And then you have to hone that talent and cultivate their skill set so they become better football players. Now you're starting to see better things from Shi Smith. They never gave up on him after all those drops.
He had one catch.
All right, but so what? He had the touchdown. They're not going away from him. He's a part of our offense. And it's the same thing with Chuba and Tony. They are going to run Chuba Hubbard between the tackles. And you know what? He's not bad at all. He runs heavy. He keeps his feet moving. He doesn't generally go down after first contact. Chuba Hubbard is a great downhill running, between the tackles type of running back. He doesn't have to be a Christian McCaffrey type of player that it all catches out of the backfield. He doesn't have to do that. He just has to run hard, follow his tackles, and continue to fight for yards. And you know what? He has been doing that, and he's been looking damn good. He's a part of the three-headed hydra that the Panthers are employing at running back right now.
Whatever.
Oh my God. Just whatever.
Chuba Hubbard was given plenty of opportunity by Matt Rule. And here's the thing: is Chuba Hubbard has always somewhat run the ball effectively, but every running back in the history of the world can somewhat run the ball effectively. It's about blocking. It's about not fumbling, and he's been terrible at catching the ball. So look, you can't be like, "Oh, this guy's had." I mean, he's gonna have to string a little bit more together. And the Shi Smith stuff, come on, you can't be like, "Oh, Steve Wilks believes in people." That wow, that's all of a sudden why they're doing. If you know what, the best case for that actually is Terrace Marshall Jr.
Yes, 100%.
So I mean, so like if you real like is that just looked like, but here's the thing is I've seen plenty of running backs in the league just as good as Chuba Hubbard, that are washouts in 1 or 2 years. So you know what? I'm glad this mug is actually finally doing a little something. The Carolina Panthers, though, and you know what? Is because Deontay Foreman is not gonna be able to do it all by himself. I do think another thing though that we need to think about, even though the fans came so hard after me about my takes against like that, I wasn't just crazily impressed with the run game. They brought some good things. Some commenters brought up some good things. Is like run the ball in the fourth quarter is a big deal. So like that's like bludgeoning people to death. So the other thing though, is that we playing from ahead. Yeah. And that gives you the ability to run the ball. Is that I don't know if it's just like game plan all the time that says that like we want to run the ball. If we were down 14 points, then Sam Darnold would have to be more part of that game plan. So look, the Carolina Panthers won in Seattle in the way that this team and teams that are not great offensive teams are going to have to win. That is by defense creating short fields, the running attack sustaining some long drives. The first drive was 7 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You keep the ball out of their hands. In fact, if anything, man, there were some moments we had a couple of lulls where they had a little bit too much success on the offensive side for the Seahawks that were concerning towards the end of the second quarter, late in the game. Not concerning, but problematic. Geno still got his a little bit. He got like 240 yards or whatever. But the defense created opportunities. And, man, that allows you to run the ball, and that takes a lot of pressure off of Sam Darnold. We'll see if he has to come back against the team, how that's going to look, But, this is Steve Wilkes got these boys cooking right now, and even Chuba Hubbard's doing good. But,
well, go ahead.
I was just going to transition to the next thing. Now I was going to say every team's dealing with injuries, though, and the Carolina Panthers have been somewhat healthy, I think, in many ways throughout this season. Other than, they've had 3 injured quarterbacks. I guess you couldn't say somewhat healthy there. And Dante Jackson's been out for the season. But I think we finally got one of our stars, DJ Moore, suffered an ankle injury. Some people were saying knee, but I think it's an ankle against the Seahawks game. I think he was unable to finish the game. But good news is it seems like that there is not significant damage and that this is not a major injury, but just an actual knee sprain, Cody.
Yeah, it's a knee sprain. He's considered day-to-day right now. This is from Adam Schefter, who added it's nothing significant. So we're going to need DJ down the stretch. We're really going to need him. He's he didn't get a lot of action recently.
Oh, no, we got Shaq Smith, dude. We're fine.
Man, shut up. Shut up. You sound like a salty girlfriend with your feelings hurt. Go sulk in the corner. Listen, what I'm telling you is that our offense right now is built in a perfect kind of way. And I put this up. This is from Anish Shiroff. He's a part of our commentating team now.
He's the new play-by-play guy.
Yeah, starting week 10, 58% of the Panthers' pass yards have come off of play action. No one else in the NFL is above 50% in that time frame. And it's simple. Run it successfully, and it sets up play action. This is my point. G Baby is in the chat room talking about, Sam only threw 120 yards. Yeah, that's right. He didn't.
He did.
Yeah, he didn't. But you know what? It was still enough, wasn't it? You don't have to
scored 30 points. They scored 30 points.
And also, if you don't trust Sam Darnold, why would you want him throwing 30-plus times anyway? If anything, it should be a good thing that that we're running the ball effectively enough that we're not going to have to put the ball in Sam Darnold's hands all the time.
Especially early.
Yeah.
Especially early for Sam Darnold, what I mean is with the reps. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he came in short kind of news, I guess, after he was activated and they cut Baker and comes in. Hadn't played in a long time, and then you get this game. And so you also are knocking off rust. So you don't want to put guys into positions too that set them up for failure. And nobody is up here saying that Sam Darnold is a balling ass quarterback. This is actually how the Carolina Panthers are going to have to win games because they're not a great team, right? They're not great at really anything. Maybe the defense is a little bit better. We give them credit for. There's some stats we'll talk about later, but this offense certainly isn't great, and it's definitely more one-dimensional than we prefer it to be. So this team is going to have to win by special teams, defensive turnovers, and rushing the ball and controlling the time of possession, and that's how they've won so far. And maybe that is going to create some confidence for Sam Darnold in these moments. And Cody, I'm just frankly just more but kind of befuddled in a way, is like why this hasn't been more of the Carolina Panthers passing attack for quite some time. Particularly, it seems it benefits a team that isn't great downfield, and you have to just try to help them get separation by creating doubt on the defense and setting up those plays.
Yeah. I mean, we were even able to run the football on third down. Like on third down, we were running the football and picking up first down.
You can't do that though, but for so long. But like we can't do that for so long. We understand that.
It's not a long-term plan, but the fact that we're able to do it and we were able to pick up first downs, one, it's a testament to our offensive line, who I said last time we were live, I think it's the best Panthers offensive line ever. Now, all of you who were fans before 2011, that was when I jumped on board as a Panther fan. If you have another offensive line in your head, fine. We can argue about it. But
yeah, you probably say 03. You say the Super Bowl run in 03.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean,
is
sure.
Because they bludgeoned people on the ground that year, or those couple of years. I think that may have been Jordan Gross's rookie season. No, he might have been later, actually.
How about this? If it's not the best, it's damn near top three. It's a top three offensive line that the Panthers have ever had. And I honestly think, you asked, and then I'll pass.
Great. Oh, there's no doubt about that.
I'll pass the mic to Greg here after this. I really do think one of the catalysts for what has made this team change so much from earlier this season to this season was the introduction of Bradley Bozeman. If you look at this guy, he is a house. He is wide. He's a big dude. He's strong as hell. And the center, one of the most important positions on the offensive line. They're calling out the mic. They're looking at coverages. But it's part of the reason why you're able to run the football between the tackles effectively. And I think that when you add Bozeman on top of Wilkes, on top of now you're not just dependent on McCaffrey. Now you're giving the ball to Deonta Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear. Now we have a versatile rushing attack that can do a lot of different things, and I think we're better off for it. And that's why we are a legitimate contender right now. You heard me, G baby. We are a legitimate contender. Get at me, bro.
Look, I will say I agree with you on almost everything you say there. The only thing is I'm kind of starting to understand what Tony's saying about this, because while I think we had a fantastic rushing game this Saturday or this Sunday, I'm not ready to say we have a three-headed monster yet. Now, if it works out like it did this week, you're right. That is balanced, and that works great. And having three of them, especially to be able to alternate like that, will keep everybody fresh and it'll be perfect for us. But I'm just not ready to say we have a three-headed monster yet. We have the possibility for it, but I don't think it's quite there because I haven't seen enough from Blackshear. And
yeah, he's not really been part of the running attack yet. It's really this has been the Deonta Foreman show.
Exactly.
And Chuba's starting to get more in the mix because why is he more in the mix? Partially because Deonta Foreman's been dealing with an ankle injury, right? Or kind of so you can see that is no one's actually super celebrating the running backs. We're just actually saying that the running attack has been productive. And it has definitely been the case in all the wins this season. And like Cody says, is a lot of this changed. The big changes, you remember when the Carolina Panthers fired Matt Rule, one of the big changes, though, was Bradley Bozeman coming in and starting center. Now, he might have done it in Rule's last game. I'm not sure about that. But Bradley Bozeman, whether or not you think he's the reason for it, we've been better as an offensive line since he's been in it. So I don't know if we watched every play or whatever you could determine, but we've been a formidable offensive line since he's been there. You definitely haven't seen it regress by any means. On top of that, his wife and him, I think not only are they just honestly great people and very cool people, which that's why we partnered with and supported their charity in the C3 first annual bi-week charity drive. I bet you can, actually, I know that link's still live. If you go back and watch it, you can access that and still donate and support their charity. She's very good with the fans. She knows how to help promote his image, right? Like, so I'm sure he's busy doing football stuff all the time. She is definitely supporting him in campaigning, right? Because this is money, right? This is like every game he plays well is the opportunity for him to get a contract, and also ingratiating yourself with the fans helps. It does. Ask TD, ask Greg Olson. He is this, like he said, somebody pointed out, he likes pancakes. You know, when I watched this video, I didn't even get it. I didn't even get it at first. Right?
What do you mean you didn't, man?
At first, no, I was just like, oh, they're trying to make a cool video or something. Like, I wasn't even thinking. I was just rolling thinking this, but pancake blocks. Didn't, you know, like I just didn't think pancake blocks. Like he likes pancakes. I was just thinking about the food and the beer and Trench Mafia, this stuff.
JD says pancakes and beer. That's a hell of a dinner.
But like he likes pancake and mugs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's a great reference right there. And then just one more thing is this. Let's see if I can pull this one up. Is look at this. You see stories like this right here. Those 10 seconds of a player's time can mean so much to a kid. He stopped and talked to this kid. Look, this guy Kendrose says, "Thank you, Bradley Bozeman, for kidding with my son after the game and letting him have your glove." He said it was the greatest football experience ever, and he can't stop talking about it. You made such a special memory for him, and I was thrilled to share these picks with him. Legend. And so look, he's doing all the right things, bro.
Yeah.
You want to talk about paying somebody like his? He might be, frankly, one of the most important free agents that the Panthers could be targeting going forward. I mean, there's zero answer without him. Pat Eflin's in the last of his deal. You would have to either draft or go get somebody else. I'm sitting here trying to work this deal out right now if I'm Scott Fitterer.
Yeah. How about this? There isn't a more important free agent than Bradley Bozeman. I mean, have we not seen enough? Like, if we're legitimately sitting here on the C3 Panthers podcast saying that this is one of the best Panthers offensive line ever, that we finally built that wall like we have been chanting for years, not related to politics, relating to this offensive line, and now we finally have it, and you're not going to do everything to keep it intact? That's first things first. He's a Panther guy. He's, I can very easily see Bradley Bozeman coming on our podcast sometime in the future. He loves to interact with the fans. His wife is fantastic. He fits right into the culture that the Panthers are trying to build. I think it's a no-brainer. I think we must re-sign him. Before we move on, I just want to go around to the three of you real quick. What is your level of concern about DJ Moore going forward? Is this an injury that's going to follow him the rest of the season? Do you think he runs a risk to re-injure himself? How are we thinking, boys?
I don't know enough. It's a knee sprain, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, I mean, look, they had some sort of they said ankle, right? Was it ankle?
Ankle? No, knee sprain. Knee sprain.
Knee sprain.
I don't know enough about it to be able to tell you, to be honest with you. I think that if you have an injury like that, it sounds like a sprain. I know if you sprain your ankle, you always run a bigger risk of hurting it, in the future a lot easier. I don't know if a knee is the same way, but I would suspect that anytime you injure yourself, you're going to run a higher risk of re-injuring it. I just don't know how serious it is or exactly how it will limit his mobility.
Hey, real quick, you were right. Just real quick. You were right. From Josh Rodriguez, $2 love bomb. He says, "Hey C3, it's JJ. Love your show. You are all truly great. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that super chat. Go ahead, Tony."
Actually, I got. Let me see here. I got a couple more super fans to call out. Billy on Twitter at PantherFan2222 is the fan who was on the road to the game last week and went to the game in Seattle. Who called into the show. We're going to give him that Panthers badge of loyalty as a fan. So shout out to Billy on that. And also Josh Matinzo is going to be at the game. We will not be. I don't believe any of us are going at the game. Also, obviously, CK can't go, or else he would kill the whole world and everybody's grandmother. And you know, I haven't been to a game in a long time, especially because we have the post-game show. It does make it a little bit more complicated for us. But you know, look, take a picture of us, tag us on Twitter at @cat_chronicles, hashtag C3 Panthers Podcast. Could do some stuff like that. We'd love to get fans calling in after the game to hear how the experience was. And you can call into the show right now at 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. But I'd love for fans to call in after the game.